Hello and welcome to Lemnis Gate. This is the first of 3 videos I'm going to be showing you guys of my first look of this game. Now quickly before we jump into this, I want to explain I was invited to play at an event a couple weeks ago. This was similar to the Warhammer 2 event where it was hosted through a program called Parsec. So I was playing on my own computer, but I was playing remotely on someone else's computer, or like the computer owned by those people, of course. So basically I was playing through connection and not actually on my own computer. It still worked fine for the most part. There was, a little bit of connectivity stuff, but for the most part it was totally fine. But I just want to put that out there as a starter. Secondly, this video, as you can see, this is actually just my footage that I was sent. Unfortunately, it doesn't work in the rendering program or editing program that I use, Sony Vegas. So I have to kind of edit this on the fly. So I'm just going to do commentary over my own footage from before, but before I've edited it. So I'm gonna edit it while I'm talking to you, essentially. So let's just start playing the video. So yeah, initially I'm gonna go through the tutorial, so you kind of see what the game is about, because this is a very interesting game. So let's just talk about that as we go. I'll try and explain things as they're happening, but I wanna also, the video length here, by the way, is 1 hour 16, but that's 3 different games plus the tutorial stuff. I'm not gonna show. Basically, I'm showing 1 game each, and then this first video is also gonna have the tutorial stuff. Anyway, so Lemnis Gate. This is a combination between a shooter and a turn-based strategy game. Somehow, it's really crazy. The way this works is that the game runs on what is essentially a 25-second loop. So when you're playing an actual game, let's say it's a 1v1, you're playing against, obviously, one other person. That's generally what a 1v1 means. Here, so now I need to do some editing because I'm going into options and stuff, which no one really cares about. But yeah, I was changing some settings and stuff. So like I said, this is not going to be ideal, but it's just because the video file they sent me just doesn't work in the program that I use. Anyway, so yeah, it's a combination between a shooter and a strategy game, a turn-based strategy game. So basically, you're playing a 1v1. The game is run on a 25-second loop. I was doing some more stuff here to change my settings. This is just annoying because I have to talk like this. But anyway, I have to change the keybind to use my special ability. Right, so 25-second loop. Right, so what essentially happens is one of you, so let's say you or your opponent, let's say you control your character for 25 seconds, or you choose a character that you want to control. There's like 6 or 7 different ones, which I'll go over in a minute as well. You have to do certain objectives, like that's it teaching me in this tutorial right now, with like the different kinds of objectives that are available on different maps. This one is where you select, where you grab this little thing. It's called exotic matter, and you have to bring it back to your home base. So I start doing that in a second in this map here. Anyway, so you play for 25 seconds, and then when you're done, it's your opponent's turn to play 25 seconds, and they're going to play basically with what you have just done. So they can see your character running around, but obviously you don't control them anymore because you've already done your 25-second loop. So then your opponent gets to react to what you've done with his 25 seconds, and maybe he kills your character, or he goes for his own objectives or something like that. Then it's your turn again to play 25 seconds, and it again goes on the loop that was already done. So you see your first character and his first character running around, and you're doing things, and maybe you kill his character to prevent his first character from killing your first character. I do some sick-ass jump there. And basically, yeah, it goes back and forth like that for, I think, up to 6 rounds if it's a 1v1. Here I didn't quite understand that I wasn't supposed to shoot the example in the little box. I was supposed to go into the next room and then start shooting that. So I was like, wait, what am I supposed to do here? I'm being an absolute moron, basically. I unload a full clip on this thing. Like, what is going on? Why is it not working? And then I was like, oh, right, I'm supposed to go into the next room and then do it. Anyway, so this is a different objective where you have to capture this thing by shooting it to half health, basically. Then it turns into yours. But then the more you put into it, the more the enemy would have to reduce it to for it to become theirs. And essentially, obviously, so it's 6 rounds, so you end up having played 6 different characters, essentially. And your opponent will have played 6 different characters, but you're not playing at the same time. And then at the end of each, of the final person's 6th character, you will see basically how the points add up and how many objectives you've captured. Because obviously on your first round, you might be able to do all the objectives, but if his character, her first character, then prevents you from doing those objectives, then none of it would have actually happened. if you understand what I mean. It's very confusing initially, but once you get used to it, oh my god, it's so good. It's such a cool idea. I really, really enjoy playing this. So this is the first type of objective, which is basically destroying those big balls, or almost footballs, which is nicely in theme with the Euros going on right now. So yeah, that's the third type of game. There's actually only in this demo, I guess, that we played. For some reason, I try and blow myself up by hitting the roof. There's actually only 2 different maps on this one that you play against people. And those, the second objective that you saw, where you had to shoot the thing to make it become yours, and then the opponent could shoot it to make it become theirs, that one doesn't actually come up. Although it does come up in this video as a tutorial, essentially, against a bot. But the other games I played were all against humans. So there's 3 types of different games. So in this mode, this video, sorry, as I said, I play the tutorial, which is this whole thing that's going on right now, and also a 1v1 against an actual player, as well as a 1v1 against a bot. And then in the next video, I'm going to show you a 2v2 match that I had, where basically, I'm showing all the characters here, by the way. I think I go through them pretty slowly, but I'll talk about them as I play them as well, so don't worry. Anyway, so I guess I might as well talk about them real quick. So Rush, well, actually no, I select all of them in a second, so I'll do that as I, in fact, I should just skip this, but if you want to read this, then go ahead. But yeah, I do play every single one of them in a minute, just to show you guys what they all do. Anyway, so there's a 1v1, and there's 2 types of 2v2. That's currently, I don't know if they're planning on doing more 3v3, 4v4, I'm not sure. It might be too difficult. It gets really complicated already as it is. Anyway, so there's 2 different types of 2v2 modes. One of them is basically the same as the 1v1, where so let's say I'm on team A, and with a teammate, obviously, and then I have 2 people on team B. So I do the first round of team A, then the first person from team B gets to do a round, then my teammate gets to do a round, then the second person on team B gets to do a round, then I get to go again, that kind of thing. And then the other way is it's kind of simultaneous. So you have 2 people, like basically team A goes with both their players, and then team B goes with both their players, then team A goes with both their players, etc. So yeah, there's a couple different game modes as of right now. Again, I don't know when they're planning on doing more. I also don't know what the release date is. I'm pretty sure the only thing they've announced is fall 2021. I'm not sure if that's even true. I think it is. Anyway, so this is the Toxic character. I think that's his name, or if it's not, this is the only time where I had that thing that I had in the Warhammer game as well, where my PC kind of freezes up, or the connection freezes up, and I'm just like running in a straight line, because on my screen it's frozen, but on the actual recording it still works fine. But it lasted for like 5 seconds, as you saw there, and I'm already back to where I was. Anyway, so this character, he can, Toxin is his name. He can put down, he can shoot basically toxic bubbles, which they are not bubbles, but stuff that stays on the floor, which can actually deal damage to enemies and also allies that run over it. Even afterward, like it stays on the floor essentially, and it does ticking damage over time. And then his special ability is a way to teleport, basically. So as you saw me using it earlier, you throw or you shoot something, and then where that lands, that's where you end up essentially. So it's a neat little teleporter. This guy is basically like Tracer from Overwatch, if you've ever played it. He's super fast. He has these little 2 handguns, and then his ability, I showcase it better here. It basically allows you to move really fast, and even suspend you in the air. It's also a really short cooldown in the actual game as well, not just in the tutorial. So you can use that like every 5 seconds or something, maybe even less than that. And you can just move around the map super quickly. It's crazy. So this guy's a sniper. His ability is, as you can see, slowing down time. It only lasts for like a second or 2, but it's really cool because obviously it allows you to, because you're playing by yourself, the time actually gets slowed down for everyone. So if you take this guy as like your second or third character, you just straight up snipe people. I try and, I think I changed some sensitivity stuff here, because sensitivity for zoomed in is different from zoomed out. So I was fucking around with that for a bit. Oh, let's go back a little bit. Right, so yeah, that's the Dead Eye, or whatever his name is. Yeah, so there you can see the slowdown again. It really lasts in like 2 minutes or something. So next up is Death Blow. This guy has a big old rocket launcher, which does a fuck ton of damage, as you might expect. It missed my first shot, of course, so I mean, who wouldn't? So yeah, it does a lot of damage, and then his ability is a mine. Now, one thing I didn't realize, my first game against the player is really shit, by the way, against the AI as well, for that matter. But yeah, I just wasn't entirely sure how the loop thing worked yet. It's very confusing unless someone explains it to you, like I hopefully did decently earlier. But anyway, so one thing I also didn't realize is that you can throw, I think it's up to like 5 mines per loop. So in the 25 seconds that you're playing, you can throw 5 mines. This lady as well, you can put 5 turrets down, which is really solid. It doesn't do a ton of damage, but it really helps because, of course, it hits anything that comes at it during future loops as well. So if you can put the turrets down, then in the future it's really strong. I didn't actually use her at all during any of my games, I'm pretty sure, so I don't really showcase her particularly well, but the people talking to me during my session, like developers and stuff, they really like this character. And of course, as you saw, her gun is an actual shotgun. Then there's Carl. Carl's really interesting. So he has a precision beam as his weapon, which is just a beam that's like continuous damage, as you might expect. And then his ability is a bubble, which, as you saw, it protects you from enemy fire. Obviously, there's no enemy fire right now. But what I didn't realize, because you can use it 5 times, as I said, during any loop, you can actually put 5 of these bubbles down, and I didn't realize this until my second or third game or something. And then one thing that's also really important is that you can put the bubbles on friendlies. However, because of course your friendlies will have been moved by you beforehand, they're moving unpredictably, right? Because, you know, they're doing their loop. Or I guess they're really moving predictably because you used them before. And then there's Capitan, who's the character we were playing in the actual rest of the tutorial bit. Anyway, so you can put them on players, but it's really difficult to actually hit players with the precision, or with the defensive beam. So what you're supposed to do really is, once you start moving out of your zone, like you should just move forward like 5 meters, then stand still for just a second or so you can put your bubble on that character with him later on like a later I understand this all sounds super confusing, but there's reasons. There's so many tactics that come to this, and it's just such a cool idea, I think, behind this game. Right, so this is where I play my first game against a bot. So this is just the tutorial first mission. This is where you do see that objective, where you have those things that you need to shoot, and then they turn to your side, basically. There's 3 of them. And so yeah, basically, in this game, I didn't really know what I was doing yet, but you get the idea of it. Then my first, versus a player game, I had no idea what the fuck I was doing. I was just playing like an absolute moron. But then my second and third game, I actually start understanding the game, and it becomes much better. I'm not going to say if I win or lose in any particular game. You'll have to just wait and see. But all I'll say is I definitely get better over time. Right, so we're waiting for the opponent, which is just a bot. So yeah, there's the bot's first character. So he's playing the Tracer kind of guy. I don't know what his actual name is, Rush. And he's currently, obviously, he's the first character, so he doesn't really have a lot to do other than shooting objectives. But what you can do, of course, if you're playing a character that can put mines down or something, you just put down a load of mines. You can see at the top here, by the way, this is the timer, basically. So it's a 25-second loop, as I said. So he actually captures all 3. But of course, this doesn't matter at all, because if I stop that first character from doing any of those things by killing him before he gets to do those things, then he won't have ever taken those objectives, if you get what I mean. So I go with Toxin, and then the loop starts over. So the loop just constantly goes until you're actually playing a new character. So yeah, here I try and poison. I thought he was going to move further, but I kill him anyway, and I start taking the objectives over. But what I probably should have been doing with Toxin is putting down a load of toxic stuff. So I end up doing it here in the end. But this is a bit late, right? Because of course, it's likely that my character Toxin, who I just played, will have been killed in the future by a future loop. So I should have put down a lot of Toxin immediately, or oh god, his name is confusing. I should have put down a lot of stuff immediately, so that future characters will run into it, essentially. But now you can see the bot is playing a second character. Of course, it's a bot, so it's kind of dumb. It's not really shooting me, even though it should have been doing it. It shot me a little bit there. And then it just kind of forgot about me. There you go. It finished me off there. And you can see, also, my character is still doing its thing. Like, even though it's dead, it can't actually shoot anymore. It's still completing its movements and doing what it's supposed to be doing. Because, of course, in the future, if I, for example, use Carl to put a shield on my character, he may not die after all. Which means that he'll still do the things that I told him to do in my first loop. It's so crazy. Like, the idea behind this game is so cool. I really, really enjoyed my time with it. some might even say I genuinely enjoyed my time with it. Anyway, so just looking through the characters, obviously still pretty unfamiliar with them. I actually choose the shotgun lady here. I think this is the only time I played the shotgun lady in the entire time that I played this. But yeah, I go for the B objective first, and now I'm hopefully going to put some turrets down to showcase that. So yeah, of course, that character was an easy one to kill. Wasted a bunch of time doing absolutely nothing there. Also, mistiming my shots. Really should be shooting when the shield thing isn't in the way. There's also friendly fire. I think I actually talked about this earlier. I managed to put a turret down, but that's the thing where I just didn't understand how the game works yet, is that putting that turret down there is completely pointless, because it's like on 24 seconds into the 25-second loop. So that turret is never going to do anything by the time it actually spawns, if you understand what I mean. So you really ought to do as much as possible early on, like useful things early on. Alright, so my character, she never got to put the turret down because she got killed by the bot's third loop, essentially, which is going right now. So as it stands right now, the bot will win by capturing all of the objectives. So my third and final loop, I have to be really smart about this. And actually, you know, well, I play Carl, okay. I mean, I'm pretty sure I win this one because it's against the fucking bot, but it was actually closer than it probably should have been. So yeah, I put a shield down. At this point, I didn't realize you can actually put it on players yet. I also, you can see my health is super low because I ran into the fire of a previous character, the number 3, who killed my shotgun lady. I didn't realize that well, I did. I should have just walked in. I should not have walked there because I knew he was going to be shooting my shotgun lady. But of course, you know, it's still learning the game. So I ended up winning by capturing all 3 objectives. But again, it's against a bot, and also this is a mini game because it's only 3 rounds rather than 6 normally. So normally it gets a lot more complicated. Also, normally the maps are much larger than this, of course. But yeah, that was my first game, if you want to call it that. Barely won, but I did win in the end. So I think I just watched the whole loop here, and then I guess I continue. But we can skip forward now, because at this point it's just a bunch of like menu stuff, looking at options and stuff, and then eventually, yeah, so we set up our game. Right, so this is the wrong map. You'll see this map in the future. This is a really cool system. I'm not sure if that was only for the for this event, but basically, I need to go back a little bit further. They said like they wanted to play the Tectonic Wells map for the 1v1 and then the Howler's Mire for the 2v2. So there's actually a map switching thing in this, but I'm not sure if that's going to be in the main game as well. But yeah, you can select the map you want and then just vote for it. And then if the other players, or in this case player, vote for it too, then it switches, which is cool. So now this is my first game against a player. Now I should say, on this event, everyone was supposed to play against other people who were also attending the event, but of course, knowing my luck, the guy who I was supposed to play didn't show, or he showed up like way late. I think I was about to finish my whole session when that guy showed up for some reason. I think he got the time wrong or something. Anyway, so I actually ended up playing against someone who either works for Parsec and already played a bunch of this game, or he actually works on the game itself. I'm not sure. Either way, he has a bunch of experience with the game. So yeah, this NJL08 is my opponent. So you can see this is his first loop. He's playing Toxin, so he put down a bunch of toxic shit. And now this first round is where I went. This is basically a really big mistake that I made, and I'll explain it as I do it. And this is where I just didn't quite understand the whole system yet, and for some reason it didn't connect with me yet. So I played Deathblow, and you'll see what I do is I just run. I'm not shooting or anything. Of course, there's not much to shoot at, but I could shoot randomly and hope I hit something. But I run towards the opponent's gate because I was like, oh, I'll put a mine down there, so when he plays his next character, he can't kill me because he's going to be running through the mine. But of course not, because that mine isn't there yet at the start of his loop. The mine will only be there about 20 seconds into this loop because I put it there about 20 seconds into my loop. You understand what I mean? Like, once you, obviously, you get that, and it's pretty simple to understand that, it's not a big deal, but I didn't really think about that yet at the time. So I was like, oh, the mine's going to be there and it's going to hit him. It's like, wait, why is there no mine there? It's like, right, of course, because I didn't shoot it yet. How can the mine be there if I haven't fired it yet? So my character's just running there, trying to put a mine down, and I'm just getting shot in the back, of course, because I'm not controlling my character anymore. And then he just picks up the objectives and runs it home. So massive mistake on my side, and then I was talking to a different person, like the person connecting me with Parsec and stuff. He was talking me through it a little bit as well, so he started explaining some things to me, and then all of a sudden, I think after my next round or something, we were talking a bit, and it really started connecting, and I was like, oh, I see now. Now it all makes sense, kind of thing. So I mean, I still, you know, I'm still not a great player or anything, but at least it's starting to connect with me a little bit more than what it was before. Also, I don't know why, but I choose to go with the sniper here. I run through this toxic stuff. I'm on 14 HP. I try and kill this guy, but I miss because I'm an idiot. I get some good snipes in the second and third game, I'll say that much, but I try and run this home. I don't think I even make it, to be honest, but it doesn't matter because, of course, I'm on 14 HP, so if he hits me with anything at any point with his next loop, he's just going to kill me. So yeah, again, I kind of made a poor choice taking that character. But the way this works, also, I should mention that, is this is a two-side game, essentially. So currently I'm playing on, you know, the side that I'm playing on. He's playing on the side he's playing on. But we, at the end of this, we actually switch. So you can see it on the top left here, actually. It says first half. So there's two halves to this. So by the time... you know, the first half, you get a certain amount of points. You get points for killing people, you get points for capturing those objectives. And then at the end of that, you switch, and then you get to do it again, essentially. But then the other person goes first. So in this case, he was going first, and next time I have to go first, that kind of thing. Anyway, go with Rush. Rush is probably my favorite character. I'm not usually the kind of character or person to play with super fast characters, because it's just too fast for my old fucking bones. But I thought this might be a good one. And I actually really enjoyed playing as him. So I actually made up for some of my mistakes earlier, and I try and even get this guy, but I don't actually kill him because I have to reload like an idiot. So I thought, you know, if I can take out a bunch of his characters, and then he never actually turns in those objectives, which is really good for me. But as of right now, he's definitely winning this one. But again, I'm just learning. Also in this, like, I don't know, I haven't really explained this yet. So at the, like, after... everything's done, basically, or after you've played your round, it just restarts the loop, and then once the other person selects their character, it restarts the loop again. Right, so he took out my character that got taken out first by someone else, but then I couldn't kill that. It's just, it gets confusing, right? So my number 3, the one I just played, is actually still, I just got killed there by his number 4, which is basically irrelevant, because my number 3 character didn't do a whole lot. Yeah, it's crazy how confusing this gets. But my second half of this round is actually just much better already, so you'll see that when we go through there as well. So I go Carl now. At this point, I don't think I knew yet that you could place the shields on your actual characters, but I was trying to place it here so I can defend him, and then he doesn't get killed by this guy, so that I actually end up placing the bomb. But again, that bomb or mine that I threw is still pretty much irrelevant, so it doesn't really matter. I'm not sure if you can put the shield on yourself, actually. You might be able to. Also, I think I actually clutched this fucking run here. I maybe don't... Yeah, no, I don't quite make it. That was so sad. Anyway, so we're on the 5th loop now. So it's 5 loops, sorry, not 6 per team. So we're waiting for our opponent to choose. This is what I meant, by the way. So right now it's playing the loop, but it's not actually, you know, nothing's actually happening, because he didn't choose his character yet, but now he has. So I don't know why I'm not looking at the actual relevant shit. So number 5's coming up there. I don't know what. I think he might be playing the sniper. That guy right there. But yeah, I think that's a sniper. So he's picking up the objective. He's probably going to try and make it home. He's capturing the B objective as well. He's capturing D. So he definitely won this one. I don't know if he actually got that one in there. I have one more round to try and fix this situation. So what I could do here, in a situation like this, there's several objectives that are completely unclaimed. So rather than trying to stop him from gaining objectives, I could actually just try and go for... I think I may even do that. Oh yeah, I fuck it up. I use the teleporter, but I teleport myself onto a jump pad, so I immediately jump into the air. But yeah, I do actually successfully grab an objective. And of course, he can't do anything about this anymore because I'm the last person to play. And I try and capture this one as well. If I hadn't fucked up the timing... Or jumping on the jump pad, I may have actually been able to make it with 2 objectives back there, but unfortunately I didn't. So I lose the first half, but you kind of get the idea of the game now. I think I probably watched the whole loop just to kind of see where I went wrong and what I should be doing differently and stuff. You also get, as I said, you get points for killing people as well. So there is actually, you know, the more kills you get in the end, the more... Actually, well, it shows up here, in fact. So I got 122 points, he got 228, so I got 1 objective, he got 2. So that's a big difference right there, and then I got 3 kills, he got 4. And then also there's a bunch of damage that you get points for, but that's all super minor stuff. It's all about the objectives, really. So now we're doing the second half, where I'm on the opposite side and I have to go first. So I took a what do you call that? A rule out of his book or something? I took a something out of his book, and I decided to go Toxin first. So I decided to just put a lot of Toxic in front of the jump pad, essentially. So if he wants to run through there at some point, he has to go through the poison. If, of course, I actually manage to put that down, because if he kills my character before I put that down, then of course that doesn't actually matter. I try and put some poison down there as well, but it's... Because at this point I'm starting to understand I need to do things early on, so that if he runs through it, it's going to actually do something, rather than, you know, I just die and do stuff way too late. So yeah, you play a super fast character so that I never get to put the poison there, or at least I do, but I just die, so it doesn't really matter. And then he grabs the objective and he takes a safer route home. You can see the poison, of course, so he doesn't have to run through it, so... Plays that pretty smart with the jump there as well, or the speed up that character has, which is really cool. I really like that character. It's so fucking fast. And again, you can use that there. You can see you can use it again. You can use it so often. But what he did there, basically irrelevant, because that objective. I mean, you can grab it with that character, but you can't bring it home, so it doesn't actually do anything. So I choose the same character as well, because I'm like, okay, if he can be fast, I can be fast as well. So I just kill him, and I shoot myself on the back as well, because there is friendly fire. I try and jump up there, absolutely miserably fail. So sad, because I was like, oh, this is such a cool idea. But then I make up for it with this sick-ass jump. I mean, pretty cool. And I noticed this jump out here, I was like, fucking, just shoot randomly. Maybe there'll be someone out there at some point, right? What if someone is running back to base, and that little bit of damage actually ends up killing someone? You never know. And those are the kind of things you have to, well, I say think about, but it's a bit ridiculous that you wouldn't really think about that. He gets a really good shotgun, or what do you call that, explosive blast there, which unfortunately means that he undid all of the stuff I undone, or had done even. But of course, I can now try and stop him again. It's a really interesting mechanic. Of course, there's always going to be people. I assumed one of the things is going to happen is people are going to say like, oh, it's definitely better going first, definitely better going second. But of course, since it's a 2-round game, it doesn't really matter because you're doing both sides anyway. And I definitely think there's advantages to both going first or going second. Going second, like being able to react first, definitely seems like the right way to go, I think. But again, it's different. I try and chuck a nade there, actually kill someone with it. Pretty sure it was the character who would have died anyway, though, so it doesn't really matter a whole lot. I'm absolutely fucking terrible aiming at that point, but actually I still end up killing 2 people. Although will they actually be dead? I think I've run into this mine on purpose. I saw it. But for some reason, I was thinking, oh, this is actually a good example. For some reason, I was thinking, like, if I run into it, then I can't run into it with a new character in the future. So I don't know what my thinking was there. But as you can see, though, I died, but I could still play on. And you'll see it here in a second as well. So that's because if for some reason I don't die, like if something happens that my character doesn't die, then it will still continue doing what I was doing when I died in the actual original loop, if you get what I mean. Again, it gets confusing, but it's such a cool idea. I've run into the mine there. You see my character just running around, because maybe someone else will run into the mine, and then she survives, and then she will have never died, so obviously she needs something to do. So you definitely need to keep playing, even if you die during your actual loop. Although dying during your actual loop is pretty shit still. So at this point I played Carl, so I was like, okay, if I can put a bunch of shields on people, or shields down. Again, I'm pretty sure at this point I still didn't realize that shields are a thing. Oh my god, I'm pretty sure, I just realized, I'm pretty sure I killed my own character because I put that shield down or something, I'm not sure. Like the shield, I don't know. I think I killed my, because you can see, hold on, let me just go back a sec here, I want to see this. Right, so, let me just, so I put shield down, and then... You'll see in a second here, Capitan killed someone. Capitan is my character with the grenade. She killed someone with the grenade, but my own teammate. So I'm pretty sure... I'm not sure, actually. Maybe I don't know. I thought maybe there was someone near the shield and I blew up myself. But, I mean, I did kill myself. I just don't know exactly how I did. Either way. Good job, apparently, for killing myself. For some reason, I decided to go back and do some shooting rather than bring the objective back. Definitely should have done that first. And I also missed every shot again. Not the greatest shooter anymore these days. I'm getting old, man. I can't keep up with the young folk these days. Put a random shield down there for whatever reason. I'm pretty sure at this point I just didn't realize you could put shields on people. I should also mention, or should say, that during all the games that I played, I never actually managed to successfully put a shield on anyone. Again, because, like I said earlier, the way you should do it is you should actually just plan it ahead of time. So with your characters, you should put shields, or you should move your character like a few feet or a few meters and then not move anymore. So that way, like just stand still for a second. So that way you can put the shields on your characters at that time, and you can easily hit them because they're standing still, that kind of thing. Because it's difficult to do it while moving around. Either way, still, losing quite miserably. Who do I go for in the end? Oh, striker, maybe. I don't know. I mean, I played this weeks ago. I don't remember exactly. Unfortunately, we were sent this footage like really late as well. So the NDA drops probably when this video goes up, which is, I think, like 1 or 2 a.m. my time on the 14th. It'll still be the 13th. Oh, this was I remember this. This kill was actually really good. And he falls for it on his next loop. You'll see in a second. It's actually really cool. I put some mines down there now, because I was like, if he runs home now and this character somehow manages to get there, then he's going to run into all those mines. I don't think he actually does survive, but... Anyway, so yeah, we were sent the footage quite late, so I only have a day or so to actually get this done. I mean, I had another day. I should have yesterday, but whatever. Anyway, so you'll see in a second... he goes with number 5, that's loop 5, but his newest character. He's going to run there, he's going to try and kill me, put a turret down, but boom, I kill everything, including the turret, with that explosive that I initially already shot. So he completely fell for that. So that was like the only good thing I'd done, is by killing myself, 2 people, and the turret in the same turn. But unfortunately, it doesn't matter. Pretty sure no one actually gets any objectives, so I definitely played better. So yeah, we got a draw there. But because he won the first half, I overall still lose. But yeah, there you go. I think I've watched out the entire... No, I don't even watch out the entire thing. So here's the defeat. 148 points versus 263. So, again, though, it's against someone who's actually played the game a decent bit before. There's some kind of leveling system. I don't know how that works yet in this game. You can see all the points here. So I got 20 for killing people. I got 6 for doing damage. He got 35. He got more than I did in that round as well, but... Overall, it was better. I didn't let him capture any objectives this time, which was good. And again, remember, this is my first game. In the second game, I already do a lot better, and in the third game, it's definitely the best one, I think. But you'll see that 2 videos from now. I don't know when I'm going to upload this yet. This one's going up, as I said, when the NDA drops. And then the other 2 are going up later. So at this point, I mean, I guess I can show it. I had to wait a little bit before my other opponents were ready. So there's actually, there's this thing in the game right here. I'm not going to actually show this right now, but it's basically like a training room. So you can just run around, do your, your abilities and that kind of stuff. And then there's also actually like challenges as well, which I'll show. I did a couple of them. I failed all of them, I'm pretty sure. Oh, here we go. Oh, this is actually really painful to watch. I don't know if I even want to show this stuff. But yeah, well... Anyway, so there's challenges, so you need to do certain things. I could not make that jump for the life of me. It's so weird. Every time I jumped, it's like I hit the ceiling. Oh, I actually make it there, but I think I failed it like 6 times before this or something. But yeah, so there's challenges that you have to do, but I fail every single one of them. And then there's different ones for different characters. So here, this one is like trying to hit all of those things before they all come back again. So they keep spawning back. I almost got it there, but then they just spawn back in the bottom. So you're basically, yeah, it's just cool little challenges that you can do to improve your aim or something as well, which is cool. But I'm pretty sure, yeah, that's all the ones I did. And the next stuff is actually... Oh, I fall to my death there. That's a good ending right there. Boom. We'll leave it there. Yeah, that's... the next stuff is actually the 2v2, and then I have another 2v2, which... So the first game of 2v2 is basically the one that is just like 1v1, where it's one player going at a time. And the second time we do a 2v2, it's the team going at the same time. But again, those will be in future videos. Those videos will probably be a little bit shorter, because it's just those 2 games, not actual, what do you call it, tutorial stuff as well. So anyway, that'll be that for now. I hope you guys enjoyed. Sorry about the live editing. It wasn't too bad during the actual game, I guess. There was literally none. But yeah, that is Lemnis Gate. I don't have any kind of referral link or anything. I just, I was just invited to this, and I will 100% play this on release. That's for sure. I really enjoyed this. I'm probably going to suck at it, but I'm definitely going to play this. Whether I'll make a lot of videos, I'm not sure, but I'll definitely play it by myself. If you guys like this, let me know. Maybe, you know, when it does come out, I will make videos. You know, we'll see, I guess. For now, thank you guys for watching. Again, stay tuned for the other 2 videos. They'll probably come out in the next couple of days while it's still relevant. And until then, have a good day and goodbye.